So here's what's going to happen sooner or later. The property value is going to increase because you bought here. But the property value should do something like that. They want to? I love you. What's your name? Marry me. Call me up after this. You and me, girl. We. Are you married? Move below. The government wants you to take more debt. Guys, the government is saying, if you can deduct interest before you pay us, what are you going to do? Get more debt so you can pay more interest, so you pay lower tax. The government is stimulating you taking loans. Now, most people don't know where this comes from. 1929, the world went belly up in the crash of the stock markets in the United States. And the only way they could save the economy of the United States is if they could get companies to get more debt, to open more factories, to employ more people, who would earn more wages, who would get more credit so that the economy would grow again. Because people who are employed and have credit buy goods. Companies make goods for consumers to buy. So if I get consumers to buy, I get companies to make goods. If I get companies to make goods, I get them to employ more consumers who buy more goods. You understand? It's a virtuous cycle. But how do I get companies to employ more people? Give them debt that is so cheap they can't say no. So what do they do in the United States? They lowered the effective interest rate to 0. If you were a company hiring, you could take a loan for 0 interest. But you could deduct the entire interest payment from your tax payments. Wouldn't you do it? Hell yeah. I'd open up factories I don't need and employ people I don't like. So that I could not pay money to Praveen. Of course I would. So, why am I telling you this? Because as you grow your business, right now, you're generating revenues. I'm telling you that the minute these revenues come in, go to the bank and get more debt and use that debt to buy more assets. Go to the bank, get more debt. Use that debt to buy more assets so that these assets can outgrow your liabilities. So that as your assets outgrow your liabilities, you use the bank's money to get more debt to buy more assets which outgrow your liabilities. You use the bank's money to buy more debt to get more assets that outgrow your liabilities. Do you understand it? But you have to do it, and the only way to do it, my friend, is if you do it for the long haul. And every time you get an interest payment, every single time you just take that money back and you put it in the cycle. Don't take it out, don't buy a fancy car, don't get another house. You just wear that same t-shirt. In 5 years, I must see you with that same t-shirt. Don't do it. You keep that money, you keep cycling it and recycling it here in your business over and over and over and over. What you should aim to do is to get to a line here of 0. Your line should be get to 0. Why? Because tax is to the state, and they only tax me corporate tax on profit. If profit is 0, what's tax? 0% of one of any number is 0. I am what they call in Xhosa, khelekele at this point. Khelekele. Make sense? All right, cool. I could keep going, but you got one more question, and then, guys, we have to take a break. We're going to take a 20 or 30-minute break, leg stretch, go to the bathrooms, fix ourselves up. Afterwards, we want to come back. I want to do some presentations, see if you guys have learned anything. Then we have to close. Your last question. Yes, sir. Sure. Which one? Oh, this one.
How long do we wait to go back to the bank? Because obviously it's a 20-year bond.
Yeah. Ah, very smart question. He's thinking, this guy. He's All right, we need another graph. All right, so notoriously property investments, and this is why sometimes property investments go belly up when they say the market is what we call soft, okay? The market is soft. So, looks like this. So you went and bought a property that was listed at R1 million, say, for a period of 20 years, say, at an interest rate of 10%, say, which means your effective bond is 1.1 million. So your effective bond payment is here. But over 20 years, you pay in equal percentages relative to the interest rates attached to that bond a monthly premium, which means the reduction of your interest rate should be, all else equal, assuming the interest rate stays the same, a straight line, like so. However, you and I know this, what do properties do if there's a demand for them? They what? They go up. So right now, you bought a property at $1 million. I would presuppose your property is underwater because you bought it at the retail price and then added an interest rate charge. So you have to wait for the rate of your property value to grow beyond this level. That's what you have to do. But in that meantime, you must keep paying back your monthly payments. I get it. So here's what's going to happen sooner or later. The property value is going to increase because you bought here. But the property value should do something like that. Assuming demand exceeds supply. Right? When this point here hits is when you go to the bank. You say, you know, we bought this thing at $1 million. Your exposure as the bank, because you gave us 10% as an interest charge, is 1.1 million. But the value of the property in the market right now is 1.1 million at this point. Yeah? Then you say, well, your cover ratio is 0. You're taking no further. If you sold today, you'd get your money back. Yeah? Give us more money. The bank's going to tell you, just wait a bit more. And they're probably going to wait until you get to somewhere here. And they'll say, well, the property is now worth 1.4 million. We are happy to extend you an additional 300,000 in credit. That's when you say, thank you. I will take your 300,000 Rand bank and I will use it as a deposit on my next property for 1.1 million. But if I'm putting in a deposit of a property of 1.1 million, what's my net exposure? 800,000. And you're going to follow the same cycle. That's why I said to you, wear the same t-shirt, drive the same car, don't change, fuck all. For 5 years, take all that money and reinvest it in this. All else equal, assuming demand exceeds supply, in 5 years, my friend, you're going to become what we call the Pied Piper. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to end up with enough properties that people around this area who all want to rent out student accommodation will go and pitch at universities for tenders for student accommodation, but you'll be the largest owner of the places that accommodate students and they will have to come to you.